Happy Friday, everybody. Mike Brenhaug here with Lead Squeezers. And you should be able to see my screen for whatever reason. If you cannot see my screen, please let me know in the chat box, and so that you can see it, because you definitely are going to want to see this presentation. What we're talking about today is sales strategies guaranteed to increase your sales. And this is important. I mean, it doesn't matter. This is going to be targeted a little towards life insurance, because we have a lot of life insurance. But I'll tell you, these tips and techniques that I'm going to share with you, they work for any industry. So if you're in real estate, financial planner, solar, it doesn't really matter. They work for anyone. So what you want to do is definitely want to take some notes. This is going to be recorded as well. But let me go ahead and get started. In business, as a sales agent, as an entrepreneur, getting in front of people, booking appointments, or getting in the home, whatever it is, you're an entrepreneur and a chief cook and a bottle washer. So you have many different hats. You got to shift gears from your practice of whatever that is to a salesperson, to a marketing person. So it can be a challenge getting in front of people and having a consistent flow of leads or referral business coming in. So that's why I wanted to share with you sales strategies guaranteed to increase your sales. Now, here's the caveat with that. These are guaranteed to increase your sales, but you have to work it. You have to implement it. If you don't implement these techniques, I can tell you it's not going to happen. Just like anything else. If you don't go to the gym, right, you're not going to get fit. You're not going to, lose weight or whatever your objective is when you go to the gym, right? It's just not going to happen for you, just like anything in life. So I really want to encourage you as you're going through this to pick one or two that you're going to implement and make a commitment to implement these techniques, because you're absolutely going to love it. So let's go ahead and jump into this here. First step, before we get in, one of the things I want to encourage you to do is think outside of the box. Again, like I said before, you are literally the chief cook and the bottle washer. You have a lot of things going on, right? And when you have a lot of things going on, sometimes you become myopic and super focused on some of the ideas. To be an effective marketer, to get in front of people, and things are very competitive today, you got to be creative. You got to be able to think outside of the box. So the reason I share that with you, these ideas that I'm sharing with you are not wild ass ideas at all. Okay. But I want you to be thinking outside of the box, so that you can grow your business and think about your unique market that you're in, because that is really key. You want to be able to think about, okay, what is something that I could do to get in front of somebody, right? Something that might be different, something that might add value. Does that make sense? So I share that with you because some of the biggest ideas come from, and the most successful businesses come from people thinking outside of the box. Let's think of a couple of people. What about Jeff Bezos, Amazon? You ever hear of that company? You probably use them on a regular basis. I know they show up at our doorstep, it seems like just about every day, dropping off some type of package. What about Elon Musk, right? There's a ton of people that think outside of the box. The team that created Uber, that's, thinking outside of the box. So a lot of power behind that. So I want you to be thinking outside of the box as we go through this. All right. First step, when you're looking at sales and marketing, one of the things that I'm really big on is having what I call a diverse multi-channel sales strategy, sales and marketing strategy, right? The reason this is important, you want to engage both the short play, the low-hanging fruit, the immediate business, but also there's a lot of people that won't make a buying decision for 3 to 4 months when they inquire. So how are you going to build that relationships, be in front of them, stay in front of them, so that you can engage the long play and be in front of them when they are ready to buy? How are you going to do that, right? Well, I'll tell you how you're going to do that. You're going to use some of these strategies that we talk about. But also having a diverse sales and marketing strategy provides you with more referral business. If you're not getting enough referrals, there's a couple of things that I'm going to tell you right off the bat that you're not doing correctly. One, you don't have a diverse multi-channel sales strategy. And the other, you might not be asking referrals. The other, you might not have a good online presence. Maybe you don't show up as a professional. Maybe you have too many things that you're trying to offer. Are you a life insurance agent, real estate agent, and you have some little side multi-level marketing business going, and people are really confused about what it is you do and what you provide, right? So there could be some confusion to what it is that you do. So you want to be able to focus. It also allows you to utilize and leverage all the products you have available. Now, certainly in life insurance, there's a ton of products. I mean, you've got Medicare, final expense, mortgage protection, you have annuities, you have IULs, disability. I mean, the list goes on, right? So you want to be able to tap into all those ancillary services to increase your sales. But bottom line, having a diverse multi-channel sales strategy will certainly increase your sales and your profits, okay? It is super key that you be able to tap into that, because that's really what this is about, all right? All right, so here's a chart, and if you've been on my webinars before, you know that I've shown this before. This is an example of a diverse sales and marketing strategy approach. You know, basically it's a funnel here, but with that, you know, one of the things that I always like to mention, if you're new, even if you're seasoned, invest in leads. Why do you want to invest in leads? Well, leads will allow you to scale your business, right? There are many lead companies out there, but investing in leads is not the only way to get business, but it's the quickest way typically to get business is invest in leads, because somebody has inquired about your product or service. You can book an appointment with them, get in front of them, do your in-home presentation, and close a deal, right? But while you're doing that, you want to expand to these other areas. Now, I'm going to jump to the left here. You see warm referral market, the strategic referral partners. You want to build these out, but these can take time, right? It can take time to do it correctly and to build it. So it's not a quick, where investing in leads is kind of quick. Then you have targeted events, both virtual and live. Now that things are getting back to normal, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for all types of live events. And then you have online and social media. Again, it's another great, not only platform, but a way to reach people that you might not be able to reach or wouldn't have an opportunity to reach. And not only that, having a great online presence allows you or allows people to share you, allows people to validate you. And we're going to talk about that as well. But anyways, if you look at your market and if you look at your sales opportunities, it's really about a funnel, right? You have a sales funnel. And what you're doing by tapping into a diverse sales strategy here is you're getting leads from all these different channels. This is why diversity is, big, and it flows in here. If you just have one source, you're limiting your opportunities. You're absolutely limiting your opportunities, which means you're limiting your income, you're limiting your sales and your profits, right? So you want to be able to tap into that and do that. So that's what this is about. All right. So anyways, I'm going to share with you these tips. The first one that I'm going to share with you these sales strategies is one, increase the contact ratio with your existing leads. Currently, you may have existing contacts and prospects, maybe some current clients. You want to be able to basically increase your contact ratio, and not just your contact ratio, but your frequency as well, because it goes into building that relationship where you're going to get more referrals. The quickest, the easiest, and best way to do that is to have a full functional CRM system that allows multimedia lead nurturing, follow-up campaigns, email, text, ring list, voicemails, that has all the whistles and bells that allows you to communicate in various touch points, right? So that's really what is important for that, is you definitely need to have that and have that type of a system. Also, one of the other things, if you have current contacts, especially I recommend this with fresh leads, because you're making a major investment with fresh leads, right? If you're in final expense, anywhere from probably $15 to $45, $50 for final expense. Mortgage protection can be anywhere from $30 up to $80 or $85 for mortgage protection. And annuity leads I've seen annuity leads at, $400. So, leads are all over the place. My point is you're making an investment in leads, correct? So with that, one of the best things that you can do to reach those people that you might not be able to contact, again, is utilizing the CRM system where you have a multimedia, a text, an email, a ringless voicemail, right? These are all tools that are going to allow you to reach people. We have a number of people on Lead Squeezers, and I hear the stories all the time. Like, Mike, I have fresh leads and I tried to reach them by phone. I was not able to reach them, but I was able to get in touch with them via email or text and book appointments. I have a couple of agents right now that are fairly new to Lead Squeezers, but they get it. And they're using their virtual assistants and putting them on Lead Squeezers, just doing text and email campaigns and booking appointments only from that. They're not even phone calling. This is extremely powerful. They're taking it to the next level, but they understand the power behind utilizing these multimedia contact points, between texting, email, ringless voicemail, and video. It takes time to do that. But again, like I said at the beginning, you got to think outside of the box. So that is awesome. But the other thing that I highly recommend, especially for fresh leads, is, and nobody's doing this. So that's why I mentioned think outside of the box, because this is different. Nobody's doing this. But literally, you can send a note card, all right? Between the note card and the stamp and a couple business cards, you're probably $125, $150. Who does that? So imagine you just invested, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $80 in a fresh lead. You're not able to get them on the phone. You try and get them through text, email, but in addition to that, invest another $1.25, another $1.50, and send out a hand-addressed note card. Don't use a label. Take the time to send a hand-addressed note card. The reason I recommend sending a hand-addressed note card, it literally has about a 94, 95% open rate. Think about that. If you receive a piece of mail and it has a label and it looks like junk mail, are you going to open it? You might not. You might just, you throw it in the circular file like what I do, right? But if it's hand addressed, you're going to open it because you're like, oh, I wonder who this is from. And I recommend not having a return address. You don't need to have a return address on the envelope. That way they're guaranteed to open it. And when they open it, there's going to be a nice little note card. And you write your little message in there, whatever it is, whatever market that you're focused on, a nice little professional message introducing you. You have a couple business cards in there. Who does that, right? You're going to look professional and you're taking it to the next level. Highly recommend doing that. It is worth the money. And this can be done, with age leads. Highly recommend it with fresh leads. But if you want to do it with, some of your older leads, maybe you don't want to do all of them all at once, but maybe you commit to doing, 10, 20 a week. Just do a couple a day, right? That's not a huge investment. With that, it's manageable, right? You can squeeze that in, or you can have your virtual assistant do it. So extremely powerful. So that's tip number one, is increase the contact ratio with your existing leads. Let's move on to the next one. Number two, educate your warm market to generate more referrals. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you, 95% of people do not do this correctly. They literally, what I call, throw up on their warm market, and they wonder why they don't get any business from their friends, family, and the people that they're close to. There is a correct way. First of all, the number one mistake, don't focus on trying to sell your warm market. Think about that. These are people that know you. Use them as a Salesforce, as your referral source, but you need to educate them on what they do, right? So your warm market can be your greatest referral source if you educate and position it correctly. I'm going to let Jess again. Don't focus on selling your warm market directly. I already mentioned that. Focus instead on educating them on the value of what you do as a licensed professional. Okay. So this works for, and most of you on here are life insurance agents, but we do have some real estate folks, some financial planners, and some P&C agents as well. Here's the deal. Let's take a look at real estate. Everybody knows a real estate agent, just like everybody knows a life insurance agent. If you don't take the time to educate your warm market on your unique value proposition, they're just going to think that you're just another real estate agent, right? And they're a dime a dozen, or you're just another life insurance agent, which they're a dime a dozen. So the name of the game here is to position yourself to be, not only be that expert, but be the professional and educate your warm market and your strategic partners on your value proposition. What makes you different, right? Because we all have unique differences, but you need to educate them. Don't let them assume, because you don't know what they might be assuming, right? And I'll use life insurance, as an example. If you let people assume that you're just a traditional life insurance agent, you have no idea what they may be thinking. I can tell you many people that I've talked to, the traditional life insurance agent, they think of somebody that's, a slick willy that's going to be in their home for 2 to 3 hours. It's going to try and sell them some kind of policy that they don't need, right? And, that is so far from the truth of what I do. And if you're a life insurance agent, that's not what you do as well. And so it's super important that you educate them. Real quick, here's the tip. If you're a life insurance agent, what I tell people is, I'm not a life insurance agent. I save people from financial hardship when life happens, okay? We're going to talk about that. And that's pretty powerful, because life happens, all right? So anyways, help them recognize potential ideal clients for you. Think about that. If you educate them, now they understand the value that you offer. They're going to be able to spot ideal clients for you. That's pretty powerful. And book a 30-minute education meeting, Zoom or live. 30 minutes, no more. So I'm going to share with you, because this is how powerful this is. I'm going to share with you my exact approach here. All right. So here's the deal. This is a lot on the screen here, but it's really pretty simple. This is your warm market meeting. This is how it's going to go. Now, first of all, key points to cover in the warm market meeting. One, the purpose is to educate on what you do so they can spot prospects and refer you. Okay. That's the purpose of the meeting, not to sell them. Okay. Next, keep it to 30 minutes. The reason this is important, 30 minutes, they may be thinking, oh man, I don't want to meet with James. I don't want to meet with Celinda. They're going to come over. They're going to try and sell me a policy. They're going to be here 2 hours. I don't want to meet with them after work. We're going to be cooking dinner. We got to kids to bed. People are thinking these kind of things. So it's really important that you keep it to 30 minutes. You're in and out, because you want to change their perspective. Does this make sense? So here's the deal. And don't go into product details. Don't try and wow them about an IUL or an annuity and how great that is. That is not the purpose. This is very high level. So here's what you're going to do is you're going to use some standards here. First of all, why do people buy anything, right? They either want it or there's a problem that they need to fix, right? So what is the problem? And so I'm laying this out for you so you have an idea. You're going to share with them the problem. Then you're going to come back and you're going to share with them the solution. So what is the problem? All right. I share, and I'll share this with you. If you don't have it, I print this out. If it's a Zoom call, I have it as an image file, a PNG, and I share this on the screen. Okay. Let's see. James sent a message on him, the screenshot, the one. Yes, it can be shared by email. Yes, James, it can. So anyways, the top 10 leading causes of death. All right. And I'm going to go through that in the detail. So if you look at the top 10 leading causes of death, and this is from the National Vital Statistics. So this is nothing I created or you created. This is real stuff. And I share with people that, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, first of all, I know we're family, but I really appreciate you taking the time, 30 minutes. I'm going to be out of here in 30 minutes. I just wanted to share a couple things with you, what I do, because I'm passionate about what I do. And I'm passionate about protecting people from financial hardship when life happens. And unfortunately, life happens all the time in many different forms and when we don't expect it. Okay. And so the purpose here is you can help me help our other friends and family just by, me sharing with you a couple key things. All right. and then I'm going to get out of your hair. So I go through here. Let's take a look at this. Ages 1 through 9. Unintentional injuries, 31%. Cancer, 12%, over 12%. So the reason this is important, you're going to come across people that are going to say, you know what, Mike, I'm young. I'm in my 20s. I might be engaged, but I'm young. My family's healthy. I eat clean, all that good stuff. Nothing's ever going to happen to me. Well, check this out. Ages 10 to 24, unintentional injuries, 41%. I don't care how many times you go to the gym. I don't care how fit you are. I don't care how clean you eat. That is not going to protect you from unintentional injuries, right? And you're not trying to sell them on it. You're just educating them on, this is what happens, right? And then as we age 25 to 44, check this out. Unintentional injury starts to drop, right? We're not as risky as we were in our younger days, right? We're not jumping off the cliff at the river, those kind of things. But check this out. Look what starts popping in. Little cancer here, little heart disease. These are things that happen as we age. And as we continue to age, 45 to 64, look at this. Cancer, heart disease. What is that? We're talking, I'm going to round up 30, over 50%, 51% just between cancer and heart disease. 51%. That is huge, absolutely huge. Now, as we continue to age, unfortunately, heart disease, cancer, some other things pop up, stroke, and you can see some of these other things, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes. Diabetes is huge. I mean, if you're in life insurance, we've all written policies on people that are diabetic, right? So as you can see, I'm educating them on the problem, all right? I'm not even trying to sell them. Then I go into some of these other bullet points. Say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, did you know that 63% of bankruptcies are due to medical expenses? Think about that. And this is all stuff that you can Google. 63% of bankruptcies are due to medical expenses. 74% of all cancer patients' benefits run out before their treatment is complete. That's huge, but it makes sense because medical is so darn expensive these days, right? Nearly 50% of retirees lose large portion of their income due to a shift in the economy or stock market. And I'll tell you, we are in a massive bubble right now, massive bubble. 80% of small business owners will be out of business in 60 days if the key person, partner, or rainmaker dies or has a major illness. Have you ever thought about that? When I see this, here's the problem. When I see this, this is opportunities for us to protect people from financial hardship when life happens, okay? And what most people do is they're focused on one market, final expense, mortgage protection, retirement. This is opportunity. So by educating your warm market, people that are close to you, now you've educated them, okay? Now you come in and you talk about the solution. So what do I do as an agent? Mr. and Miss Jones, you see all these problems? I basically help people eliminate or minimize the financial impact when these unexpected life events occur, because they are unexpected, right? And why do I say financial? And why do I say, so for me personally in my business as an agent, it truly is, I save people from financial hardship when life happens, because people will do things because of money. Nobody likes to lose money. They can understand the financial pain of that, right? Does that make sense? So now let me share with you quickly, this is what you're going to say. Now let me share with you quickly how we protect families. You're not going into product details, very high level. We have a variety of life insurance, products to protect against death, but let's say death. But what most people don't know is that the policies and the products I offer include what we call living benefits, okay? Very high level. These living benefits cover the risk if somebody has terminal illness, cancer, heart attack, stroke, blindness, loss of limb, or they become injured, right? Now that's much more valuable than just the standard life insurance you were probably thinking. Wouldn't you agree? This is really important because what are you doing? You're getting buy-in here. You want them to get buy-in. Again, you're not trying to sell them. Through this process, and then the last one is, and I'm going through this quickly, but you want to keep it to 30 minutes, ask for their help and referrals. So this is how you can help me. and help our friends and family. You know, if you know of anyone or come across anyone that maybe you work with, you go to church with, school with, whatever it may be, that could benefit, I would appreciate it if you would refer them to me so I can protect what's important to them. Okay. And that's it. You know, if you know of somebody that recently purchased a home, maybe they retired, they had a death in the family, newborn baby, they changed jobs, whatever it may be, you know, hey, let's protect them, because otherwise they're going to be a statistic here and nobody can escape this. See, these are national vital statistics. Nobody has a crystal ball. You don't know what's going to happen. Now, this week, we got a call from a family member. They were admitted to the hospital because they were coughing up blood, right? And so they admitted them to the hospital. They did the CT scan, didn't find anything. And, you know, but initially when you think about it, well, coughing up blood, I mean, that could be a variety of things. You know, the C word comes into play for a lot of people, especially when they're in their mid 50s, right? Well, everything turned out to be okay. Happened to be a bleeding ulcer, and they fixed it. It was fine. But boy, it's pretty scary. And it came up unexpected as well. These things can happen. Now, this situation turned out okay, thank God. But hey, you never know when it's going to happen. Okay. So I spent more time on this than some of the other slides, but it's this important. The reason this whole process is important, at the end, you've spent 30 minutes. You have now changed the perspective of your friend or your family, somebody that's close to you that thinks that you're just a slick willy life insurance agent that is going to be in the home for 2 hours and try and sell them something they don't need, right? You didn't even try and sell them. Not at all. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Before you leave the home, they're going to say, hey, Celinda, this is extremely valuable. You know what? We don't have anything. Can you protect us? Is there something you can do for us? And there you go. They are asking you for the business. So here's what you do. This is where you have to resist. You have to leave. Say, you know what? Absolutely, I can, but unfortunately, I don't have time right now. I need to get to my next meeting. So let's go ahead and set something up where we talk specifically about you and the missus, and and about your needs. Okay. So what have you done? You've maintained control. You maintained that you're only going to be there 30 minutes, right? So you don't want to change their perspective. And you come back and then you have a meeting where you talk about just their needs. And they have asked you to come in because now you've educated them. Now they know their pain points, right? And now you can get into the nuts and bolts and you're not even selling. Does that make sense? I'm telling you, this is extremely powerful and nobody's doing it. The first thing that many agencies will teach you is just make a list of they call it the Project 100 or Project 200. Make a list of your closest friends and family and let's go try and sell the heck out of them, right? And what have you done? You've destroyed that because you've probably done it with other businesses as well. And that's why your friends and family don't want to talk to you. So when it comes to business. So anyways, warm market, extremely powerful. Hopefully you made some good notes. This is being recorded. I'm going to move on to the next one. Number 3, strategic referral network. Again, this is something extremely powerful that I'm always amazed that people just don't do, and you should be doing. Okay, absolutely should be doing. So here's how it works. You've probably heard of BNI. You've probably heard of LeTip and some of those other organizations. They're great organizations. The only problem with those organizations, from my perspective, is they are exclusive, meaning that technically you have to refer that person in the group that is the life insurance agent or the realtor or whatever, or the attorney. You can only refer that person, right? Is kind of the way, that's why they call them an exclusive, networking group. You don't need those groups. You can create your own. And I encourage you to create your own. It takes time to do this, but guess what? You have LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn. But here's how it goes. All right. And you don't need a fancy chart like this. You can just take out a scratch piece of paper. And what you want to do is think about your market. All right. Let's use final expense, for example. In your final expense market, who else is touching those people that is not a life insurance agent? Who else? An estate planner or state attorney, right? somebody in a retirement community. Maybe there's agents out there that are the Medicare, not necessarily doing final expense. Who else? CPAs. There's all kinds of people that are touching it. And so you want to think about who else is touching my same prospect that I can form a referral partnership with, where I'm going to refer them business, they're going to refer me business because I'm meeting with these people and they're going to want to know. And what you want to do is identify at least 3 people in each category, right? So let's say 3 CPAs or accountants that are touching them, right? Or 3, even a P&C agent. If you're in life insurance, property and casualty agent, I'll tell you, a lot of P&C agents, they don't want to touch life insurance. All right. They want to focus on that. So there's many opportunities here. Or if it's mortgage protection, who touches that? Mortgage brokers, real estate agents, again, CPAs. You need to have 3 in each category. That becomes your referral team. Now, this is not just a take. I want to encourage you as you develop this and develop these relationships that, it's basically a 2-way street. You have to reciprocate, meaning you have to give them business, give them some referrals as well. This takes time to develop, extremely powerful. And I know a couple agents that never buy any leads, and they basically work their warm market and their strategic referral, and they write, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year, every year consistently. All right. But it takes time to do this. Number 4, events. Okay. Now we're getting back to normal, so we'll be able to have some live events, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of virtual events that you can do as well. Virtual and live events are a great way to increase your exposure, increase how people look at you and view you, right? You become the expert when you can talk on a specific topic. But not only that, but by doing so, you're adding additional value. All right. Always be thinking about giving value before you take or ask. All right. And Gary Vaynerchuk, if you're not familiar with him, highly encourage you to, Google him. He talks about that, right? Give, then ask. All right. Don't ask. See, the problem is when we put our sales hat on and we need the money, we want the commission. It's all about, I need. I want to take. I don't want to give, right? I don't have time to give. You need to be thinking differently. Add value. I'm always thinking about how can I add value, build the relationship, build the trust, and then I'm going to get that in return, 5 and 10-fold. All right. Events are a great way. Community events, partner with other value add partners. It's the reason I talked about this right here. You could do local community events, again, live or via Zoom, virtual, with some of these other folks here, again, where you're meeting the same prospects. I'll tell you, in a community that we lived in years ago, one of the realtors, she coordinated a 4th of July, event, and it grew every year. She was consistent. She would have insurance agents, electricians, home designers, other people that wanted to touch homeowners in that space. And it just continued to grow. Guess what? I don't think she ever buys any leads whatsoever because people know her. She did a great job. And you can do that. All right. Retirement community events, virtual and live. Now, if you're thinking, oh, well, the senior homes and the retirement communities, they're not going to let people in. Well, you're wrong. I just passed here, 2 days ago, a retirement community, and they had a big sign out front, bingo night, Wednesday, inviting other people from the community. So they're getting back to bingo. But here's the deal. The community directors of these facilities, because COVID has been going on, they've been lacking events. They are eager to have people come in and, deliver some value. Talk about, your final wishes and, planning for your final wishes. Take 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes max. Bring in some donuts or bagels, right? This is, again, where you need to be thinking outside of the box. Schools and teachers. All right. You don't think you can get in? Wrong. I don't care what COVID's going on. People are getting into schools. It's happening. I just heard from another agent yesterday. and with a completely different company, and he's getting into schools, right? They're looking forward to it. Now, if you're in California, it might be a different story, but the rest of the states, certainly open up. Local businesses, right? So there's all kinds of opportunities when you can think outside of the box. So don't let COVID, is the key point that I want to share with you, prevent you from doing events and doing something different and capitalizing on these opportunities where we haven't had many events. People want out, people want to connect with others, and it's a great way to get additional exposure. All right. Here's one example that I wanted to share with you of an agent. And she's out of Atlanta, Georgia. And she put this piece together. This is her idea. We helped her put it together here, but it's a little card. She reached out to 5 schools, talked with the principals, got permission for Teacher Appreciation Day to drop a little postcard. This is a 2-sided postcard, it printed just like this. And it says, "Thank you for your commitment, encouragement, involvement. So here's a little something for your enjoyment." And she attached a little pack of spearmint gum to it, dropped them in the mailboxes. This right here generated over 60 leads for her. She was on the leaderboard this week of the company that she is with. She did an awesome job, okay? She is getting ready to do some mortgage protection virtual events, all right? So she understands the power behind that. I share this with you because this whole piece probably ran her between the printing we did the design for, and then by the time she had the printing, the spearmint gum, all that, she probably spent maybe $300. That's it. Generated 60 leads. It's pretty powerful, isn't it? Pretty powerful. All right, next one. Number 5, guaranteed referrals in every home. I don't see Ron Osius on the call. I shared this a few months back, and Ron adopted this. This is his favorite piece. And, Ron is a guy that doesn't buy leads. He's a good networker. And this took it to a whole nother level. But basically, this piece I created a couple of years back. It's called a required life insurance death benefit notification form. And so when you write a life insurance policy, we all want to get referrals, right? But sometimes asking for referrals can be a little awkward for some people. Some people don't necessarily want to give referrals or give you contacts, right? So I made this part of the sales process, the application process. And basically how I position it, you probably can't read this, but I'll provide you with this form. I have it. It says, and if you're in life insurance, you know that a life insurance company cannot pay out if they can't reach the beneficiary. All right. In fact, I received 2 notifications from insurance companies this year of a couple of people on my team where the policy holder, they were not able to reach the beneficiaries. And so they were reaching out to me, all right, to reach out to the agency if we can find the beneficiaries. They tried them by phone, email, address. Well, people are moving around a lot these days, and people are changing the phone numbers, changing their email. And if they don't update it, or if they don't know that their parents or their grandparents had a policy, how would they even know? They wouldn't, right? So this is super important. So I make this part of the application process, and I let them know that, hey, you've taken the time to put a policy into place. Let's make sure that, when the time comes, that the insurance company can pay out. So I give them this form. I fill out the first part. It says applicant or proposed insured. Put my name as the agent, phone number, the insurance carrier, and the executor, if they have an executor. Then I slide this over to them, and I just have them write the name, relationship, and phone, and then I have them sign it. Down below, it says, by signing, I authorize the agent to notify those listed above that I or we have secured a life insurance policy with the named insurance company above. Boom, boom, boom. So now what have I done? I take this list and I do my job, and I call each one of them, and I don't try and sell them. I basically notify them that, hey, we just put a policy into place for Mrs. Jones, and I wanted to make sure that you had my contact information. And when I go through that process, I collect their information. I get their email address. I get, both the husband and wife's name. I get their date of birth, the email, the address. I get both their phone numbers. All right. So I have it on my records. It goes into my CRM system on a record for that, policy holder. Okay. As I'm going through this process, and the reason I ask those questions is you got them on the phone. They're getting to know you. You're starting to have a dialogue, see where this is going. And I promise you, 6 or 7 people out of 10 are going to ask you for business. Happens all the time. Hey, Mike, you know what? My wife and I, we don't have anything. Is that something you might be able to help us out with? Do you work with, younger people or just older people? Oh, absolutely. I can help you out. Tell you what, I don't have time right now, but let's schedule a time when we can meet, right? You meet either a virtual appointment or an in-field appointment. Okay. Does this make sense? This is powerful. Anyways, Ron Osius, Lead Squeezers subscriber. He loves this form. He'll tell you every home he gets 3 to 9 referrals in every home. 3 to 9. Extremely powerful. Free leads, baby. Free leads. I love it. So last point, and then we'll move on. Social media presence. You have to have an online social media presence today. If you don't, how are people going to validate you? How are people going to find you? How are people going to share you? Okay. You have to make it easy for people to share you. Oftentimes agents, and not just life insurance agents, but people wonder, how come they don't get referrals? Well, can you be found online? Do you make it easy for people to share you and find you? Most people don't. Okay. Now I can tell you, Celinda's on the call here. She's pretty easy to find now. We've set her up with a number of things. She's pretty easy to find. But here's the other reason it's important. People want to know that you're a professional in whatever market or industry that you're in. And the other mistake that I'll share with you when it comes to social media presence, keep it focused. Don't try and run multiple businesses from one Facebook business page, for example. You have about 6 or 7 seconds to capture people's attention and to let them know what you do. One of the biggest mistakes I see is that you'll go to a page and somebody is a life insurance agent, they're a realtor, they're a tax advisor. Oh, and by the way, they're also recruiting to build their life insurance team. All on one page. What is the message? What is it that you do? It's a conflicting and it's competing messages, right? And again, you only have 6 or 7 seconds. Keep it focused. The way we design a Facebook page, it is extremely focused. The beautiful thing about Facebook, you can have multiple pages. I'm not saying don't be a realtor or don't be a life insurance agent or tax advisor, whatever. Just have a different page for it. So you can keep that message and that content, extremely focused, and you will get more traction. Because when somebody shares about you, when somebody shares Celinda, you want them to know exactly what you're going to do or what they can do for you. Okay. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, are the top 3. You can be on Twitter if you want to be, and all that. But these are definitely the top 3. And then Google My Business, wouldn't hurt me on that as well. But anyways, make it easy for people. Got to have an online presence. All right. So where do you start? Where to start? Well, I shared with you 6 ideas. Start with 1 or 2 ideas and add on as you can. If you try and do all of this all at once, it's going to be overwhelming and you're probably not going to do anything. Pick one that you really like that you can do right now and implement it consistently. All right. Keep it simple. Keep it realistic based on your goals, your market, and your budget, and create a schedule to focus and execute consistently. And if you need assistance, Lead Squeezers, we can always help you. We help a lot of agents put things together. Celinda, I know, definitely takes advantage of that. She's a great client of ours and a great agent. So we're here to help. We think outside of the box. We're not just a CRM company. We are a marketing agency that happens to have a CRM, and we know a lot when it comes to social media and putting these things together. And so we can certainly help you out. And if there's something that you don't see on our website, ask us, just like Felicia did, and we can help you put it together. All right. So anyways, that's going to conclude the marketing part of it. We're going to jump into the CRM training here.
Hey, Mike Brenhaug here. Thanks for watching the marketing webinar for Lead Squeezers. We do this every Friday. Feel free to jump on any of the calls to learn more about marketing, how to market yourself and increase your sales, but also how to use our CRM system. So every Friday after the call, we jump into a CRM kind of open mic type training for the CRM. I'll tell you, it's extremely powerful. But anyways, like, share, follow, and subscribe so you're notified every time we post a new video. And we will see you soon. Have an awesome day. Take care.